here with my yellow hoodie to tell you that I read the Kiss Quotient Series. I need to find a better name for that series. Seriously. Hello and welcome. So the first book that I read is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang, obviously. So this one is about Stella Lane and Michael Fan. Stella Lane, she's an economist. Like, she does something with mathematics to figure out like what people will buy. Like, I don't know, don't ask me, I don't know these things. So she has Asperger's and she's really good at her job. She's really successful at doing it, and so she kind of finds it hard to be in a relationship, or she's never really had a successful relationship. Like, a guy tells her like she's really bad at sex, and you know, being the person that she is, she wants to figure out how to be good at sex. So what does? She orders a professional at sex to kind of help her out with this whole thing. I really enjoyed her character. She has Asperger's, like I told you, but her way of thinking, and as you see her like make what we call as like not good social norms or social cues, you kind of see why she would. Like, her thinking and the way she does things makes so much sense because you see it from her point of view, and it's just so interesting. It's so interesting. It kind of makes sense. Like, I understood. I got her point of view, why she thinks the way she thinks, or why she says the things she says, because literally some things don't make sense to her and she just wants to come up with a conclusion, and that is sometimes rude to other people and kind of disrespectful. But I get it, and I kind of feel bad for her because she doesn't know any other way to do that. But Michael does not know that she has autism. He kind of thinks that she's just quirky and she just likes the things the way she likes them, and she's just cute, and that's all he thinks. I'm like, come on now, Michael, I think you're smarter than that. So she offers him 50,000. I'm like, 50,000? That's a lot of money. 50,000 for a month to help her be the best she can be at sex. And obviously that leads to love somehow, some way. Michael, like I said, he is incredibly sweet and respectful and understanding, and Michael too doesn't have the best sense of self-worth. He just thinks he is not good enough for not only Stella but for anyone, and it's really sad to see that. And you see why he thinks so, you see his history, and it's really intriguing. But I definitely enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars and it was super steamy. Ooh, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I didn't kind of bump it up to the 5 stars because I reserved that for like my emotional reads, like the book that stays with you for a long time. I felt like this book was good, but chick lit isn't my thing. I'm more of like the forbidden type of girl, but this was really amazing. I really enjoyed it. And the second book that I read is The Bright Taste by Helen Hoang. So this one is about Kai and Esme. So Esme is in Vietnam, I think, when she meets Kai's mom, and she kind of just proposes her to go to America and marry her son. And she's like, that's weird, but you know, it's not like I'm living the life right here. I'm just like, I'm cleaning hotel rooms and stuff. So, and I want a better future for myself. And so she accepts the offer. When she finally goes to America, she meets Kai. He's also autistic, and he is quiet and straight to the point, but without being rude. Like, I feel like, I always thought like people with autism are kind of rude, but it's not like that. Especially not like that with Kai. I really like the scene where Kai's mom was explaining to Esme, like, if you want something from Kai, don't expect him to know. You literally have to tell him, like, you have to look him in the eye and tell him what you need from him, because he won't know, he won't get it. I found that really touching. I was like, oh my god, it must be so hard to not know like what someone wants or what someone needs from you without them actually telling you. So that was really sad. Kai and Esme meet, and Kai's mom basically tells her that you have to marry her. Well, not have to, but try it out for the summer. If you don't like her, she can go home. But just be nice to her, treat her like your girlfriend, and maybe you guys will fall in love. And I kind of thought that would be like weird when I was reading like the blurb for the book, like that's kind of weird. But the way Helen Hoang wrote it, it was not weird at all. It was kind of funny and sweet, and there was no agendas about it. I really enjoyed this book so much. The epilogue, I feel like it just wrapped up everything together, and it was a happily ever after, but I felt like it was just more than that. It was like Esme finding herself and being who she was meant to be with Kai. We enjoyed this book. I definitely did. And the last book that I read is The Heart Principle. This one is about Anna and Quan. You get to see Quan through the first and the second book. He is a fun, sexy, tattooed biker guy who is just really kind, and he's always there for his family. So when we do finally get to meet him in this book, and we get to know that it's his book and it's his love story, I was really excited for that. But when the book starts, Quan is like, he has just kind of lost his edge. He's kind of lost his pizzazz, if you can say it like that. Quan has had some health issues which have kind of taken a damper on his self-esteem. It just made him feel really bad about himself, physically and emotionally. So one day he decides to just be who he used to be and go out, have some fun, and potentially have a one-night stand with someone. That's where he meets Anna. Anna is a violinist who's currently struggling, like really struggling with just playing the violin. She's just really having a hard time, and she keeps playing the same pieces over and over again, and it's just really hard for her to get through, like, do you call it a piece, a musical piece, whatever it is. During that, as she's struggling with her career, she takes a break from her boyfriend. Well, her boyfriend tells her that he wants to take a break. He wants to see what's out there. Rude. And her boyfriend doing so, she just also decides to have some fun, and she meets Quan at that nightclub, and they kind of attempt to have a one-night stand, but it doesn't really pan out well. They have a second one. They try to have a second one. Doesn't really pan out well. The third one, and you know how it goes. They fall in love. But during this, Anna's family, one of Anna's family members, gets really sick, and trigger warnings for caretaking. This book was just incredibly sad and frustrating, and it was just not the book that I wanted to read. I was hoping it was just going to be a fun, quirky, witty kind of book that I've been reading throughout like the series, but it was not that. It was so depressing, so traumatizing. I can't even tell you. It wasn't a fun ride. It wasn't a fun ride at all. Kind of regret reading this book because it was traumatizing. It was hell, legit hell. I did not like this book. Well, I liked it, but I feel like there is such a thing as too much sadness, and this is what this book had. It had too much sadness and not enough romance, and it was kind of sad seeing Quan have to kind of wait for her to be okay, for her to be in a relationship. Well, they are in a relationship, but she has to take care of a family member, so they don't really have a lot of time together, and you're kind of just sitting there asking yourself, like, why is Quan still with her? But because it's a romance, you just kind of have to believe that they were made for each other, so you kind of wait for her. But I feel like Quan deserves better. Not like she's a bad person, which makes it hard to say that, but she was just not emotionally available for him, and it's not even her fault. So yeah, she's also struggling internally because she just finds out that she also has autism, and she just has the worst family ever. They kind of don't understand her. They gaslight her at every chance that they get, and it was really sad to see that, and it just keeps going on and on, and you don't really get a resolution. Well, you kind of do, but it's like not enough. Like, I feel like it was just one scene at the end, and it was just not enough for like all the things that she had to go through. It was really sad. Like, I wouldn't want you to read this book. Like, don't read this book. don't read this book. It's incredibly sad. Unless you just like wanna lock yourself up in a room and just be mad and helpless for all of eternity, then please do read this book. It'll get you there. Whoever wants to read it, please look up the trigger warnings. I know Jane did cry for this book, and I can get why you cry, why someone would be emotional, but I was just not there. Like, it's incredibly sad, yes, but I was more frustrated than anything else at Anna's actions or lack thereof. I wanted her to be able to stand up for herself, but it makes sense why she can't, or she feels like she cannot. But I was expecting so much more. This is not the book that I wanted to read, and that is all I have to say. So yeah, we're at the end of the book where I am rating the 3 books. So the first one would definitely be The Bride Test, the second one will be The Kiss Quotient, and the third one will be The Heart Principle. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what kind of video you'd like me to do or what books you want me to read. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.